Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Popcorn Watchlist podcast, where we discuss and celebrate some of our favorites in TV and film. I am your host, Xavier, and joined with me via not remote satellite, but remote technology are my fellow Popcorn Watchlist panelists. We have Danny, Anthony, and Zach. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello, hello.
What's up?
Good to
How's
be
it going?
good to be back.
I almost thought Anthony was going to say howdy doody.
Howdy doodly.
Howdy's
Flanders reference. Older than you.
Shut up,
But,
Flanders.
My
But
back
yeah.
is feeling fine.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. We've been messing around with some technology things, but we figure we're back here for the new year. What way to welcome in the new year than by doing a quick little quick summary of some of our favorites and not so favorites of 2024. Could be a nice way to kind of get back into the rhythm, but also for you all listening to get reacquainted and get a nice little recap on the stuff we liked and some of our thoughts on the films and our wide and diverse different perspectives. Be a lot of fun. So with that, going right into it, Danny actually had the really fun idea of let's talk about some of like the bad movies of 2024, at least that we saw. We might miss a few, so after this comes out, we'll be reaching out through our social media pages. So join in on the conversation. Talk about some movies that you may have thought were just real hot stinkers, or that you may have found some diamonds in the rough, or agree with us in some of the things that we like. So without further ado, Danny, I'm going to let you start off on some of the stinkers of 2024.
Oof. What a way to start.
Right? Yeah.
So
Get the bad stuff out of the way.
we'll start with the obvious first choice. Came out early in the year. We have Madam Web.
It's like half a lifetime ago, and then I'm like, oh yeah, Madam Web was only last year. Yeah,
which is crazy.
What else is there to say that hasn't already been said about Madam Web?
Yeah, we did a whole episode on it, but yeah,
it's long enough.
It's very bad.
It's really bad, man. Like, there may be a running theme as to some of the other bad movies, but in terms of like two other movies that share a common thing, but yeah, this one was really, yeah. I mean, I keep thinking Morbius was even last year, but it wasn't. But yeah, like two Sony movies that were bad. Spoiler alert on the next one. Yeah, Madam Web, not great, not good. Barely watchable, actually, type of movie. Bad. I know Anthony he always has some creative thoughts about that movie, man.
There's too many things. I'm pretty sure even in the episode that we recorded for the review, I missed other ass-tacular things that were in this movie, but yeah, the root of it is the dialogue is just terrible. Oh my gosh, the dialogue is so bad.
When you accept a responsibility, great power will come.
Oh my god, the story's bad, the acting's not good.
We talking about ADR? Like, I think that's like the most egregious thing is the ADR. Like,
yeah, I feel like that movie is the movie that will teach people what ADR is if they don't know what it is. It's like,
and then what not to
very
do.
obvious that this guy's not talking, even though like his lips are moving, but he's clearly not saying those lines.
Yeah, he had some of the worst, and even then, like they didn't try their best to blend the ADR naturally with the actual audio that they kept originally.
Yeah, he sounded different.
Yeah, it just stands out, and it's very obvious, and it's really not good.
Also, shout out to Pepsi. Pepsi saved the day.
Oh boy.
Yeah, man. That was a movie.
Stop making your soda in or stop putting fireworks in your soda factories.
Yeah, fireworks in your soda factory. Because why not? Dude, what?
That made no sense.
It really did make no sense.
I think we're done. That's
it.
That's enough of Madam Web.
Well, fine. We'll go into something completely, totally different. Craven.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Is that
this one-
another
different.
non-Spider-Man movie?
It's not. It wasn't that. It was also like it was bad, but it was like still watchable bad. But it had some really um creative choices with certain characters and certain pieces of dialogue, like that whole thing with the rhino.
Yeah, that weird inhale, like
His
Yelling.
I don't
his
know
action
what that.
choices
Yeah,
were something else.
Yeah, I don't like. I still don't know. Like that scene, like I think is gonna be like in my brain for a few more years because I have no idea what the hell that like he was doing.
Just his reaction to what, like his henchmen saying that they weren't able to kill Craven or catch him,
It's
and
just
he just
I
belches. I don't know what noise that was, but some weird noise just comes out of his mouth.
like who like I want to know if the director was like, cool, that's great, like that's such a good choice there. Like I that's what I wanted out of that. Like that like no way, dude. Like there's
yeah. There's no way.
no way.
Uh,
And then but like some like some of the redeeming qualities were like it's like the way the action scenes were framed, like that there wasn't a lot of like, shaky cam. Like there's some good choreography. The set pieces are pretty cool, but yeah, just um dialogue really bad, like in terms of what
Also
was
bad
it?
ADR.
Oh
And
yeah,
this movie, I guess, upped the ante from Madam Web because it wasn't just like bad ADR. We all noticed at some point that Ariana DeBois's character had
not
like
there.
CGI mouth, and she was just saying completely different lines. They had to, I guess, maybe they couldn't bring her back to record the lines or react them, so they just CGI'd her mouth.
No.
It
Oh
was very
yeah.
weird.
What was the worst? She died soon after. I never saw her since.
There were
Something
some
like that.
doozies. There were some doozies in this movie.
I like, I think she said that, and I think my brain like stopped, like just like it just broke for a moment.
The what she says when she's looking down in the building, and she's like, "Oh, there's some like five guys coming into this building that don't they look like they
That
don't
don't look
belong
like
here."
they. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I don't know how she comes up with that.
Like her as a character comes up with that because and
Yeah,
who wrote that for her? I'm just like,
exactly,
you
exactly.
you got an Oscar-winning actress in this movie. You have how
Two Oscar-winning.
two Oscar-winning people here? Yeah, I think that's enough. I just feel bad for Aaron Taylor Johnson because like that dude's good.
He was
It
trying.
just he's trying. It's just they put him in some not good stuff, but that's okay. He was in a movie that was actually good in 2024, which I'll talk about later. But what else? What's some other stinkers that we can kind of bring up?
You and I saw this movie, Xavier.
Oh man,
Megalopolis.
this is probably the cream of the crop of like bad.
Megalopolis.
I don't know because I didn't get to watch Joker 2, so I have no opinion. But Megalopolis, man, like I've seen some like real like wild opinions as to like how well the movie's made and everything, but it's too abstract for its own good. Like
How
but
well it's made?
yeah, exactly. And
People
I'm
have
like,
said
there's
that?
no way. Yeah, like I've seen people try to like
Wow.
whatever. Like that's not the point. It's the point is what I thought. And like it felt like too much for what it was trying to say. Like it basically did not need to be an over 2 hour like perfume commercial. Like
Yeah, it was.
that's really what it came down to.
Yeah, it was. That's another one where you have these great director, you have a lot of great actors in
You
this
have the
movie,
stacked one of the
and
most
and
stacked.
then the actors have some of the weirdest dialogue and some of the weirdest acting choices that
Dude, John Voight
that they're
alone. I was like, what is
doing.
he doing here?
I don't know,
Like,
but he has a boner. Do you want to touch his boner? That was one of the scenes in
yep,
the movie.
yep.
Oh my god.
What?
What is this movie about again?
Like, I get it. It's supposed to
It's
be an allegory for the fall of Rome and other ideas, and but like, and giving up there's so much. I mean, like there's things the movie's trying to say, and it's like you get it, and then but it's so convoluted, you lose what it was trying to tell you.
Yeah, like it's overly complicated, and they kind of like hit you on the head with the messaging throughout the runtime of the movie, and then even at the very end of the movie, and it's just like, why did this movie need to be like this and this long to
Like
convey this message over and over again? It
the,
was
the
just
movie
so
the movie
strange.
reminds me of like really old like a massive like big golden age Hollywood film like try to make in an attempt to be made like in today's audience with like the same type of like style of acting, the same style of dialogue, and it's just like it just doesn't resonate. Like maybe it's us as an audience that's changed, but like even if like just it put together, it's just a mess. It's not a mess. Like it's just a like a wild fever dream. And it's like I feel like it's not. It's like made maybe maybe it's a movie that wasn't made obviously made for everyone. Like I get it. You don't have to make movies that are have broad mass appeal, but like even when it's trying, you're using a lot of your it's Coppola, so like he has a massive like
It
wealth
was made for
of
him.
talent. Yeah, it feels like it is made exclusively for him, which hey, good for him, but
I
it's
mean, he
just
paid for it, so
yeah, it's a massive passion project, but it's like man, like I it's his own thing, it's his own kind of concept of story, and it's just it's something else, man. It's wild. Like I kind of want you guys to watch it just so you can understand and just be completely flabbergasted at everything. Because like it sucks because like last time one of these really amazing, like goated directors, kids like to say these days, like really like like best of the best directors making a passion project. Like I think of course Scorsese with Silence. And it's like man, like that was really good. Like that was like a movie like told in a very deliberate like in his like type of way style, but still like I'm not gonna be so like in the weeds and so far and swirling in this whole thing. Like it's just wild. Like I'm surprised Adam Driver was able to kind of just like keep it all there. Like it's just a lot. It's just so much, dude. And ah, like it just you watch it and it feels like man, like this is Francis Ford Coppola. It just seems like he's trying really hard when he really shouldn't be. Yeah, it
You,
sucks. Like it sucks
you
for
yeah,
that
also
movie
saw it
that's
in
in that way.
theaters.
it's not a good movie.
Yeah, we saw it in theater. Like, I'm not
It
saying the
is.
movie sucks. I'm saying like it sucks to have that experience watching the movie. And then, which
So what does that mean?
like it sucks to have the experience of like going in like, man, this is gonna be great. Like all of a sudden, come in and just be completely let down and confused. Like maybe not confused, maybe I'm stupid, but like it's just
No,
like
no,
just
dude,
let
'cause I
down.
think I think most people would probably say the same thing. I mean, I'm sure there's a very select few that liked it, but I think the majority of the few people that watched it, because not even that many people watched it, but I think the majority of people were just as confused as we were. Um,
Also, it's like I was
oh man,
expecting like a cologne like brand to show up somewhere because like there's like all the shots, the way it's lit, the way the characters interact in the scene. I'm like, this is wild. Like this is totally like an Eros cologne commercial here.
yeah, Shia LaBeouf and Aubrey Plaza went ham on that movie.
Especially Aubrey Plaza. She
Yeah,
was
they were like in different movies. They were like, "Oh, I'm in a Coppola movie. Let me just go crazy." And they
no,
were,
Coppola told them to go crazy. Like this is the thing you need for the character. Like Shia
um,
LaBeouf's character is like a very pastiche what is this guy demagogue type of person that's jealous of their cousin, which again is all these like weird Roman like pseudo Roman connections and allegories to the fall of Rome, and it's just like okay, that's supposed to be a simple like kind of comparison to help you understand the messaging, but it's just all the over the place. It's something else, man.
yeah, I would say it's really not good. One of the worst of the year, but you should watch it at least once just to understand it, to understand what people are talking about.
Yeah, so that when you see like things are like way too, the common people will say like artsy fartsy, like with something like this, it's like, well, okay, yeah, this is a bit much. Come on.
Well, real quick, because you said at the beginning of talking about the movie that it's the cream of the crop of bad movies for this year.
Yeah,
For me,
it's one of
probably
the top
is,
worst.
yeah, like I've seen like again like Matt like you knew like Madam Web and Craven were gonna be bad, but like going into
This is worse.
Megalopolis, it's just like okay, like hey, like this is like you're expecting quality in here, and then what you're seeing is like it's just a
Not
massive
quality.
fever dream, and it like barely coherent fever dream of like golden age Hollywood style filmmaking that just is it just doesn't that barely keeps its message together because of just how all over the place he is.
So mainly because it was not hyped, but it was like the expectations were kind of high for especially because of the director.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Okay, and it was just a letdown.
Yeah, massive I mean,
Well,
not so much
so
letdown as much as
yeah, so
I
there
fell
it's
from
like
the building that Adam Driver's character Caesar was operating out of. Like that's
I think
how much of a fall I've had.
there's a difference because I feel like there's some movies on like my worst list and even on my top list that I would say were kind of letdowns, but I still, you know, they weren't like that bad. So I would say like even though this was a letdown because the pedigree of the actors and the director, it's still like it just wasn't well made. The story was nonsense. It was all over the place.
Yeah,
Um,
like the general idea is there of just this like person that gets super genius city planner person trying to reshape society and what does that mean and people it's but at the same time like how people react to that and how people want to protect themselves and how do they get themselves out of it and someone going into spiraling in their own like kind of genius and the kind of burden that has and what societal pressures you put on you. At the same time, like you can't put all of that in what to me looks like, I keep saying it, like a massive like cologne commercial. Like I'm expecting like Channing Tatum to shoot an arrow or something. Like it's just it was yeah. Like I don't like I really have found that I don't personally won't like movies that are shot in that style. Like it's just like it screams like me and I'm trying to set up this vision and the message of the symbolism. It's like, dude, I get it's like, okay, we get it, but it's just so in your face about it. And so
Zach,
like
Zach, do you have one that pops out to you that was a
Bad movie
pretty bad movie that you could recall?
from last year. I I've only like of bad movies. It's only the first two that we mentioned between Madam Web and Craven. But I haven't seen anything else that was
Trash.
As bad.
yeah, close to being as bad.
he's like
All right.
nothing that was straight up a dumpster fire.
Yeah, like I mean, everything else was either very solid or really good.
So you obviously didn't see Pooh, Blood and Honey too.
Definitely not.
Me neither, but
I,
I'm just
I
gonna
have
assume that that's
no
a bad movie. So
yeah,
um,
I have no desire to watch the Pooverse.
The Pooh horror verse, yeah,
I
that's
can't
the
believe
thing.
that's a thing.
Yeah,
I
there's
have
for anyone that
I'm pretty
doesn't know, there's a
sure.
Peter Pan one coming out.
Oh God, I'm pretty
and a
It
Peter
sure.
Pan
Popeye.
looks
a
bad.
Peter Pan horror movie that is supposedly set in the same universe.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And a Popeye one.
Oh, that's right. There's a Popeye one.
Yeah, dude, there's a
Uh,
Popeye one that does not compute to my brain. I'll be honest with you. Like that hurts.
All right, I have another really bad movie
Yeah, I know
that
what you're
came
gonna
out
say.
last year.
Do it.
No, you don't.
I don't. Oh, okay.
You don't, because I haven't mentioned it before.
Oh, okay.
But I was just going through my letterboxed and I was like, wow, I did watch this movie, and wow, I can't believe I watched this movie. It's called Afraid with
Oh, that sounds
AI
familiar.
in
For
the
AI'd. Oh yeah. For AI'd.
Dude, it was
Oh,
so bad. It's almost like if AI wrote this movie and the audience was meant to be AI.
Oh,
Isn't that
this is the Smart House
that's with John
Yeah.
Smart
Cho?
House horror movie.
Yeah.
Smart House, like the Disney movie.
It's
Yeah,
like
Smart
Smart
House but
House,
horror.
but yeah. But not even horror, just bad.
What makes me sad is that Catherine Waterston's in it, and I'm like, I really like Catherine Waterston. Like, uh, she was in this show
I mean,
that
the
was
whole
on
cast is
Max.
good, but
Yeah, exactly. Like she was in the show that was on Max for they only got one season, I think. It's called The Franchise, and she's only in it for one episode, but she's great. Like in it, like she's absolutely great.
and
Um,
obviously she's from Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah,
yep. Oh,
I was
what was
gonna
she
But
say
yeah,
that
doing?
too.
terrible movie.
What was she doing
It
in
was
Star Wars? Yeah. Yeah, how bad is it? Like, what makes it bad? Like
it
the
just
concept. Like,
I
is
mean,
it
the
just
title alone with the AI.
how do you even say that? But
for AI?
just like, I mean, I guess the acting was okay, but it's just what they were given was just really bad. And some of the plot points were just like either too convenient or just like how'd you get from this to that? um and I think towards the end, um I don't want to spoil it, but
Because we're all gonna watch it.
if you're interested,
Oh no.
at the end it was just a dumb way to end the movie, and you're like, well, that was a waste of my hour
Did they
and a
just
half.
unplug the house?
No.
Damn it! That would have been
Yeah.
actually really smart. It was like, oh, just unplug the house.
Yeah, no. If only it were that easy.
Oh, okay. So they burned the house down. Got it. Like Poltergeist.
um
It sounds like Poltergeist, but with artificial intelligence.
I mean, this is one way to make sure that
You'll
we don't
never
continue with AI. But
really. Okay.
yeah, I don't know. It was dumb.
The house turns into Skynet. Okay, got it.
Watch it if you want to have a fun time. It's definitely not a horror movie.
It's a
It's
comedy.
not a thriller or anything. It's just
No, just none of that.
wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's that.
Wow.
I have another one that I think maybe only Danny and I watched,
Mhm.
and it's kind of like a general consensus that this movie's not good. Um, it was, and this is also falls into that category of very disappointing. Joker 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Fully
it's
agree.
wild. Like, I guess, yeah, like, I'll just say before you guys get into it, like, I think it was like, I don't know if it was the deflation or just like, what the heck is this? Like, that, like, kind of turned me off. Like, not that it was like, oh, but people are telling me it's a musical. I'm like, okay, that's
Like it could
fine.
still be good,
It's
obviously,
still be
like
Um,
any
good.
other musical.
Wicked is a musical, and
Wicked is a
Wicked was
musical and it's
good.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
And the Heights, and whatever. Or just say John Chu movies. But anyway, um, yeah, West Side Story remake, really good, and a musical. But okay, I'm gonna let you guys go
yeah.
right into it. I need to know, like, just
Joker 2,
why.
man. Coming off of a great first movie, even though the first movie was like very strong and depressing, but it was a very well made movie. Great acting, good story. Um, and you would think that they would try to do something similar, and they kind of didn't at all. Like it's just like,
Like a total 180.
yeah, it's like this. It's the strangest thing. Like
That's a big swing. Like,
it's a
like
huge swing. This is one of those situations where you can flat out say like this was straight up for the paycheck. Like this was for the money that they clearly were gonna pay them all a lot of money because the first one made over $1 billion. And for some reason, I believe I read that Todd Phillips had like complete creative control over the movie, and so that's a mistake.
Oh my god, that's a mistake.
Well, I mean, and look what happened.
And look what happened. Yeah.
Look what happened. So he pretty much said, "F you to all the people that liked the first one. Let me just make another one that's not good." And well,
I
they
mean, I don't
lost a
think
lot
he
of
like
money on it.
realistically going to say like, "It's I'm going to make this purposely not good."
I
He
don't know if
maybe
he
said
made it purposely, but like,
made it purposely.
like
I'm going to make it purposely completely different, like that for sure. I remember he said, "I guess it's going to be something totally different."
but
But I thought he did
but
do,
that's what I'm
or I
saying.
thought
Like,
the
why would you
rumor
do that? Why would you like? Part of me's part of me thinks he did it on purpose because it's really not good. It's
was it
very boring. And yes, the musical aspect of it isn't even like the worst part of it. It is a part of the movie. They kind of just have random songs thrown in there that they're not
Like the needle
really.
drops and everything.
It's like, yeah, it's needle drops. But it's kind of like, I don't know, not like well placed. I don't know how to describe it. It's like something's happening in the movie, and then out of nowhere someone will start singing, and then sometimes it goes into like this other sequence of them singing and dancing, and it's just like, oh, but what was the reason for that? Like, if they didn't do that, then it would have just gone to the next scene, and the movie wouldn't have been as long. I think it was, how long was the movie? I think it was like 2.5 hours.
Well,
I don't know,
It
it was a long
was
movie, and it was longer because of,
138 minutes.
oh yeah, two
two
hours and
hours and 18 minutes.
yeah. Yeah, like it could have been a lot shorter, but even if you made it shorter and cut out the music scenes, the movie still would have been bad because it kind of just drags and not much happens, and it's not as gripping, not as engaging as the first one was.
wasn't
It's
there
it's just boring. It's just, I was like, I was bored through the majority of the movie. I'm like, what, why did they do this? What was the point of making this movie if you're gonna make it like this?
but the rumor was that apparently he did it about on purpose because of like like what you said, as a middle finger, but not to fans, but to like the company. Wasn't it like
Why would you do
like
that? That's even worse. The people that are
Yeah.
paying you, like,
You think it's
haha,
a Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3 situation? Oh, you
because
want Venom? Here's Venom.
well, I thought it was something to do with like executive control or executive
he
creative
got it.
control
He
or
got it
something.
though. He got the control, and that's what he did with it.
I thought then I don't know what it was for. Then I could have sworn something. There was some kind of rumor surrounding him doing it on purpose to like piss certain people off.
Yeah, I don't think he liked. I remember hearing somewhere that he didn't like how certain people maybe like liked the character or like idolized that character, or I think he felt that people got the wrong idea of the first movie. It's like, yeah, well, everyone feels different. Everyone has their own opinions about every movie. It's like you can't control everyone's opinion. So he's like, well, I'm just gonna make a second boring movie.
A
I don't know.
second boring movie, or it's well, because if that were the case, he would have basically made something else, basically showing, oh no, this guy's like honestly a real piece of garbage. Like, stop, don't think he's cool. Like, stop thinking he's cool. And I guess he did that through really bad song. Like, again, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't.
The second
Say.
movie, I don't even think the second movie makes him look like a worse person.
Like, he's not like full on villain at this point. It's more just like, hey, look, I'm still a sympathetic dude.
At some point, he reverts back to like, okay, yeah, I'm the Joker, but it's not like in the other movie where he goes on like a killing spree. It's not like that. It's just like in his attitude. I don't know. What about you, Danny? I mean, I feel like I talked a lot about it. Very disappointing. I didn't like it. It wasn't good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on the same boat with you. I mean, and like you were saying, the musical aspect wasn't even the worst part. Like, it was okay, but I think just some of the choices with the character and like, I guess some of the like like I guess the trial sequence and stuff.
It was the majority of the movie.
Yeah, just I don't know. It
That's the
just
movie. Is him like being on trial.
yeah, it was weird choices, weird direction. Like, where is
It
this
looked
guy from the
nice.
first one?
It looked nice. I mean, you can't complain about that. The movie looked great.
Like, you
Um,
could see the budget for sure.
yeah, I mean, it looked good. Maybe they felt they had to do music sequences because they got Lady Gaga, but it's like, well, then just don't get Lady Gaga and get somebody else. You
Yeah,
don't have to do musical sequences.
they just
Um,
don't.
it's not like she wasn't terrible in it. She was just like, okay, she was decent. Joaquin Phoenix was good because he just played the Arthur Fleck, so he wasn't bad in it. There's other actors in it. It's like the acting was good. It's just like the story wasn't good and it was boring. The pacing was not well done at all. Um, Brandon Gleeson's in the movie. He's good in it.
Interesting. I didn't
Yeah,
know
he was
that.
just like a guard, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Damn. Okay, that's random. Says, hey, I'm here. What's up? All right, bye.
I mean, he was in the movie for a good bit, like through like coming in here and there.
hmm
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, like that was definitely like the other big letdown. It's like you had Megalopolis and then Joker 2, and people were just like, "Whoa, what? These are big misses." Like,
Hmm.
it's like they both shared like the sort of like indignity of like, yeah, hey, these are part of bad movies of the year, which we're talking about. Look at that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's yeah, that was I was very surprised to start seeing all of that happening and like, oh no, like there's some truth to this. Yeah.
Yeah, but total 180 from the first one, and
Yeah. See,
I guess
the difference, what I would say, because when we talked about Megalopolis, we were saying like, yeah, this is a bad movie, but we also said you should watch it just to like experience it. I wouldn't recommend Joker 2.
It's like you can miss it. Just
Yeah.
still watch it.
There's
Yeah.
like
you won't miss anything by not watching it.
why ruin
Yeah, just
your Joker
if you
one?
enjoyed the first one, just
Be
that's
done
it.
with it. That's
That's
it. There
what's
only
Yeah.
one
leave it
exists.
alone. I mean, it
Just-
ended well. The first one ended well. It didn't need a sequel, and so yeah, you don't have to watch it. It's very yeah, it's not needed.
it's
Not needed.
There's just nothing else to say.
it's like very superfluous, not needed at all. Like this wasn't needed. And now it's
Inconsequential.
bad, of no consequence.
Yeah.
It's got a movie with Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga in it. Thanks. But hey, all right.
Yeah.
Any others that you can think of that were just like, hey, let's throw this in there, but this is bad, or anything else?
I'm looking through my list. I don't think there's any other
I would,
that stands
I would
out
I
like
would
as bad
say
as that.
yeah, and those I think were like at least to me the worst. I would say maybe Argyle was bad.
Yeah, yeah. That was
Um,
like I remember that being really hyped too, because
I mean, I was
Matthew
hyped to
Vaughn.
watch it. That's another one. A lot of these, for at least for me, are in that boat of kind of interested in them, and they were very disappointing. And Argyle was one of those. Like the
Yeah,
director, like the actors, and it just too many twists. They tried to out Shyamalan, and they had like 20, 30 twists in this movie, and it's
My
just like,
God.
what is happening in this movie?
Who was the director you said?
Matthew Vaughn,
Wow.
The
Okay.
Kingsman, First
That's
Class,
interesting.
yep,
Kick Ass.
kick ass. Yep.
Hmm. But
Yeah,
Um,
you're saying that it
I
was
like
a
his
solid
movies.
yeah.
movie.
Yeah, I like his movies. I thought it would be like a
This
fun
one's
movie, and
okay.
it just like some parts were kind of fun, but it gets so convoluted.
I mean, there was another movie that was like really bad, but I wasn't even gonna like watch it because the first one was so bad. But I don't know. Did anyone get a chance to watch Rebel Moon Part 2?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay.
I heard
Damn. 'Cause,
stories.
yeah, I heard some pretty bad things.
I mean, I saw the first one, and I think Anthony, you saw
I saw the
first one,
director's
and then you
cut.
saw the director's cut,
No,
or
I did not.
just
I
the
only saw
director's
the
cut?
director's cut of the first part,
Got it. Okay.
the 3.5 hour whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's very long. It was. I'm not gonna say it. It was okay. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't the worst movie. It definitely wasn't amazing. It was just like cool. I watched a 3 hour and 40 minute Zack Snyder movie, and that's what it was. He has better movies that I enjoy. But I didn't see part two yet. I'm sure I'm gonna watch it eventually, and we'll see how it is because I did hear that a lot of people said part two is really bad. But maybe again, maybe the director's cut of part two is better, but I
I
somehow
just
doubt it.
don't see the need.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like there was a need because like it has to complete a story, but I don't see the personal need to have to complete that story because I was so uninterested in that story, like completely uninterested. Like, man, this is, there's a lot, and then Anthony Hopkins is a
The
robot.
robot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just for some reason I have a feeling because so I purposely didn't watch the or I guess the theatrical, if you want to call it that, the first movies that came out to stream because I knew that the director's cuts were coming up. And it just seemed like the original versions were like the crappier versions and the versions with the different takes or secondary tertiary takes that he might have done on certain scenes. So it's like he almost made like worst versions of his whatever 3 hour, 4 hour long movies and made like PG-13 versions out of them. And I don't know why Netflix would want him to do that.
yeah. What's the
So I
yeah?
was
Like
like,
I
let me
point,
just
like what's the point of that? Yeah.
yeah. So I didn't watch those. So that's why I'm kind of curious. Like I kind of want to watch the director's cut of part two, and then talk to you guys about it just to see what
Is
the
there even a
differences are.
director's cut out for part
Yeah,
two?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Both of them have director's cuts.
Okay.
It's kind of
So
like
I just
with Batman v Superman and Justice League.
yeah,
It's like
both of those
arguably,
director's cuts are better, at least in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah. Arguably, they are better. I mean, they're much longer. Like I think Justice League was like what an hour longer or close to an hour longer, like 45 minutes or something.
Well, no, it was much
No,
longer.
that one was like 4
That was
hours.
four
No,
hour. That was a
Oh, it
4
was,
hour
oh,
movie.
okay. So it was like yeah,
Um,
so over an hour of that version being over an hour
but
than the
Batman v Superman
theatrical.
was almost like an hour longer,
Like okay,
and the
so I'm looking
theatrical.
this up before we move on to but like there's actually like the director's cut is like named something entirely different.
Yeah,
Why?
that's what I'm
Like
saying. He
what?
just, it's like he purposely made worse
Oh,
versions of his proper movies and just said, "Here's the
which he
PG-13
had full
version."
control over.
Well, no, they like wanted him
just
to do
told
that.
him to make a
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
he
Yeah.
PG-13
he
movie.
showed them his 4 hour cuts or whatever, and they're like, "Can you whittle this down to shorter versions, and then we'll release both?" And of course, he's gonna be
Yeah.
like, "Okay, you're paying me to do that. Sure, why not?"
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
But
It's
it
like
just makes no sense because it's on
it makes no
streaming.
sense. Exactly. It's not like he made a theatrical cut for more people to watch in theaters to get more money to make it
No.
PG-13. It's like this is on streaming. Everything's on streaming is usually uncut anyway if you put out a rated R movie. So I don't yeah. I don't know what Netflix was thinking on that one.
Yeah, I don't know what a lot of decision makers were doing in those movies. But anyway, all right,
All right.
those are some of the clickers. Let's
Good
get to
stuff.
the fun stuff. Let's talk about some of the best stuff that came out. We'll just do a quick list because we've made a lot of episodes on these because I guess we know how to
So
pick them. No, I'm kidding.
yeah.
Yeah, like
I
we saw
mean, I
some good
have
stuff.
the
So Danny, go do a rundown. See what
yeah,
we got.
I have the list of our episodes. So I'll just go through the ones that came out this year that we obviously enjoyed, and then afterwards we'll just rattle off some other movies that maybe each of us have seen. But obviously the first one, I think, um, arguably the best movie of the year. We got Dune Part 2.
Yeah, arguably,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
I gotta watch the more like the Oscar like awards films, but Doom Part 2.
Yeah, just that's it.
Great. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
We've said enough.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've said a lot. All right,
well,
so keep going.
If in case you were interested, it was episode 100 for us.
Oh,
Hell
nice.
So-
yeah.
That
As
was
written.
a perfect movie as written.
Good job. Good job.
Then afterwards, episode 105, we have the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which
Yeah, that was
I
fun.
thought was pretty
That
solid.
was a fun movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
Mhm.
pretty fun movie.
There were a lot of people that put that on their worst list. I'm like, oh, come on.
Nah,
that was a
there's
fun movie.
worse.
Like I can see if it's not like great, but it was still fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
like,
can't put that with like Madam Web and
Yeah,
No.
you can't put that
No.
with that. No, you can't. I agree.
All right.
Definitely.
All right.
Then next, we got 106 back to back here. We got The Fall Guy.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
That was on
what a-
my list. Of
That was a really fun movie. Great.
that
great
movie was so cool. The fact that every time I forget Winston Duke's character, like every time like he did a move, he would like name he'd name the actor. It's like he'd hit him with a rock bottom. He's like Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Oh my God, dude.
That movie was just too funny, but also
And nobody
like
watched it, man.
just good. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why nobody
It
watched
sucks.
it. Like that's like an ode. We talked about it. It's like an ode to stunt people. And again, we talked about
Yeah,
Aaron
that too.
Taylor Johnson. That's the other movie that Aaron Taylor Johnson was in, where it was actually really good. You know, unique
Totally different
carbs.
character.
Unique. Your brain needs glucose. Yeah, dude. Yeah, and yeah. Shout out to everybody, like everybody involved in that movie. It's really good. A lot of fun.
Emily Blunt.
Specifically the stunts.
Yeah, Emily Blunt, the stunts. Obviously Ryan Gosling. Hannah Waddingham was in that randomly in the movie too. Like,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the executive or whatever she played.
The producer or
Producer, yeah.
like yeah.
yeah, executive producer is awesome. Yeah, movie's great. Yeah.
Again, you can watch the full
Stephanie Sue's in
breakdown.
it too. Yeah, the whole breakdown's there. And listen to us. Like, it's too much fun. All right, keep going.
All right, then we skip to episode 108, and we have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
Nice.
this one was good.
That's a
It
good
made
one.
money, so I'm glad it did. It's done
It was a
really well.
good start to the new trilogy, I guess, if they're actually going to do
But
the
like a big
trilogy.
jump. Yeah.
like the new era of the films.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously you have the first part of the franchise that was a trilogy. It was self-contained. It took it was spanning over like 15 years, and then this one jumped like how many years? Like 200 years or 400 years?
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
like
something.
200 years.
Yeah, 200
So-
years after Caesar died or something. Yeah, so
Yeah, so like totally different like era of the franchise. But they did a good job of not having to rely so much on like the movies that came before it. It did its own thing and it did a good job with it.
Yeah. And also the which I never got to saw, but I was always curious on the edition of the movie where they show like the non-edited, like just them in the suits.
oh yeah, them in no cap.
like yeah. Like
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how that plays
Yeah,
out. That was
I don't have to rewatch that.
It-
Also,
it's on DVD, right? They have that on
Yeah,
on,
like-
on DVD.
yeah, whatever like bonus edition on the disc is.
I gotta get that, dude. I really
Okay.
have to get that.
yeah, like that's
Alright.
supposed to be really cool. Also, shout out to Raka. Raka is the real one. That dude is the best. Anyway, yeah, keep on going.
All right, and then episode right after that, episode 109, we have Furiosa, a
Nice.
Mad Max saga.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
So this was what, like April? Last year in April?
This was like May and June,
Okay.
like start of summer.
Yeah, Furiosa was in May.
Which I thought it was a fun addition to the franchise. And then
I
you
mean,
had
Yeah,
you had Dementus, very
Dude, yeah, Chris Hemsworth, like he went in on that. I'm like,
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth's on here twice on list of good movies. But the yeah, I was very again. It was really impressive to see him be like like the kind of like that like insane but like really good complex villain. Like it's really
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, he did a good job. There's a rumor. I mean, it's a big rumor that George Miller may direct the next Thor movie.
That'd be godlike. That would be godlike. I want it.
So that would be sweet.
It's a good combo coming back.
Please.
That'd be
Don't
electric godlike.
yeah, don't give me hope, please. That's really good. That's some really good news. That'd be amazing. Like holy crap.
All right, and then we move on to episode 112. We have Inside Out 2.
Yes, sir. Yep,
Oh
that's
man.
definitely on
Yeah,
my
that
list.
was that was a wild that was really good. Yeah,
I
this
think
is one of those like
I
thank
think it hit a billion already.
wait.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, it did.
over.
Yeah.
I think it still remained the highest grossing movie of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
higher well, yeah, definitely gonna be higher than Deadpool Wolverine, but yeah. Like that's whoa. You can hear me typing right now. But like that's very surprising.
Wow.
Yeah, Inside Out almost 1.7 billion dollars.
Damn, 1.7.
That's
Well, okay, this is
crazy.
and then
Oh
so
my God.
to get into the like a side note here, we're gonna talk money. It's surprising, but what was it? Yeah, so that Deadpool Wolverine 1.3 billion, and then let's round up to 1.7 for Inside Out. That's 3 billion, and then Moana 2 made a billion.
Oh, that's what just hit a billion right now. It was
Yeah,
Moana too.
Moana
Yeah.
just hit a billion.
All
That's
Disney.
nuts. Yeah,
Crazy.
wild and crazy kids.
I think
Anyway,
Mufasa's at like 600 or something like that.
that's surprising. It made money too. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I heard it's not bad.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to see Moana 2 or Lion King, so
Moana 2 I saw.
Same.
Yeah. Long story short, you can tell it's a like TV show episodes cut into a movie, but it's not a bad thing.
interesting.
Yeah, like you can see where like, hey, this is where you would end the episode, and then it just keeps going.
So you're saying Disney should just flip their shows into
To
movies so they can
movies.
essentially make $1
What
billion.
I'm saying is a
Duh.
TV show that
Yeah.
got cut into a movie worked. That's all I'm saying.
Don't give them ideas
The majority of their Star Wars projects could have easily been movies.
and made money.
Yep. Instead
All
of
right.
Disney.
Before we go into that, let's keep going. Then we got episode 114, and we have your favorite tornado wrangler,
My
Twisters.
God. If you feel it,
Jason!
I said if you feel it.
Jason!
Shit.
That boy, Glenn Powell. You know what? Before we go, there is a movie.
The
We talk
Netflix
about
one?
Glenn Powell. I need to talk about
The Netflix movie.
it's about Hitman, but that was in 2023 technically. But that guy was like that guy hit a high. Like that dude was like that guy. Like Glenn Powell is just like is going wild, man. It's too good.
Yeah. But that was a fun follow-up movie.
Yeah,
sequel.
it was. Yeah, and then you got Twisters, which was awesome. Also featuring Superman.
Yeah.
But Twisters in 4DX. That's what made it even better.
Oh, you guys got to see it in 4DX, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
I know
Yeah, it
people
was
who
great
like
experience.
People
had a
spilled
great
all their
experience,
popcorn.
and then someone who was like, "Oh, everything hurts. I hurt something."
No. Damn. All
Yeah,
right.
that was something. So like, there are a few movies that if you can catch in 4DX, you got to, and that was one of them.
Yeah, definitely very fitting, I'd assume. So next we have it's a two-parter, episode 115 and 116, and I know you guys already know. We got Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes, sir.
Not much else to
Yeah,
say.
definitely.
Watch
Yeah.
those two parts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, watch the movie, then watch our episode, and be like, "God, guys, you guys could have summed this up in just like 5 minutes to say this movie's awesome.
No,
It's
we
a lot of
couldn't.
fun."
Go watch on
No.
Netflix.
we've literally talked about it for more than
The runtime of the movie.
I think
yeah,
so. Yeah.
because the first episode was 43 minutes and then the second episode was an hour and 40 minutes.
Hell yeah.
All the Easter eggs. So many Easter eggs.
Bro.
I can host a scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we missed a good amount.
We missed stuff. Yeah.
Probably did, yeah.
All right. Then after that, we got episode 118. We have Alien Romulus.
Oh, I saw this movie twice. This
Good
movie's
one.
awesome.
It was
That
fun.
movie's really good.
It's a good return to Alien.
Yeah,
man.
and my first Alien movie.
Nice and creepy.
That's right. Yeah.
Zach's first Alien. That's freaking cool. Like you got you basically got like a almost like greatest hits Alien is what you got in that movie. That's awesome.
Yeah, go watch 1 and 2 and then rewatch that one. You'd be like,
Three's worth watching too, but yeah, go watch them.
All right. And then next up we have episode 120. We got Beetlejuice.
Oh, that was yes, dude. that was a lot of fun. Yeah. Holy crap! That was September.
Expected.
Yeah.
Yeah,
better than
September
expected.
27th.
That was September. Yeah. My A list going on for that one for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then afterwards we have episode 121, which I think this was a surprise to all of us because the trailers sucked. We have Transformers 1.
yes.
That's Chris Hemsworth movie number 2.
If you have Paramount Plus,
watch it.
It's on
Yeah,
there.
dude.
Even
it's
if you
really
don't,
good.
rent it or something.
Rent it. Give it money. Come on.
Give it a chance. If you're not a Transformers fan, if you're not like a animation fan because you think it's like a kids thing, I would say give it a chance because that's how they advertised it. They advertised it as like this is for 7-year-olds.
But it's also good for 17-year-olds and 27-year-olds and all in between.
It's way better than what they advertised.
Yeah,
and it's by far one of the better, one of the best Transformer movies of the last like decade and a half.
Yeah, definitely pretty good.
I would just say in general, it's probably like a top 3 of all the Transformers movies.
It's
top
a really,
3, yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's extremely good. Like if you saw The Last Night and you're like, man, this is absolute dog water. You're like, man, I can't touch this. Like Bumblebee
just go watch
and Rise of the Beast. Okay, like Bumblebee's awesome, and then Rise of the Beast was serviceable. But it's just like, man, I don't know. Transformers is kind of whack. And then you look at this and it's all CG. Yeah, of course you're gonna think this isn't bad. This isn't good. But like already the first 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, this is great. Like. We talked about it, but like the one thing with Orion, like getting caught, like looking at stuff in the archives, and he's like, it's like I can transform. Check this out. And he starts doing the pose, and then just runs. Like again, Anthony, and your point, they marketed it as like it was going to be very like silly, like humor, but then there's also really smart writing thrown in there, like smart jokes too, like let's subvert the expectations or let's create a very believable and understandable character arcs for the two main characters. It's great. It's a great film overall. It's a lot of fun. A lot of people who went out like, oh, I'm just going to have to watch this and then have to talk about it to say how bad it is. They came out of it, flipping their tune and saying, this is great.
Even the crowd reactions, great crowd reactions in that movie too.
The reviews are good. It didn't make that much money. I hope it made enough for them to warrant a sequel because it was very well made.
Yeah. All right, and then we move on to episode 124. Now, this one may not be one of the better ones, but I think we're all okay with it. But it is a new movie, and we haven't talked about it that much. But it's Venom: The Last Dance.
Oh yeah, that was
the final, let's say
the possible final. Yeah, that's another Sony movie. Yeah.
Yep, that was the third Sony movie this year.
Or the second. Wes
Yeah.
Craven was third. Yeah.
I can't
All
believe we
right.
Yeah,
have
I
And
mean,
then
three of
what
them.
did we do
it
after
was
that
like,
one?
2024.
it was very much like in the middle. I wouldn't put it in my worst movies, but it
Yeah, but
definitely
it
isn't in
wasn't.
my top either.
Yeah.
It's
It
just like
was
it
I
was
went to the
okay.
movies that day.
Yeah, it was like it was okay.
All
It was
right,
fun
and then
at
the
times.
last one that we reviewed, episode 125, we have Music by John Williams.
Ooh.
Yeah, documentaries. I
Yeah.
got another
Damn, I
documentary.
didn't put any of the documentaries on my list.
Yeah, I have another documentary
It's
that
like
I
a
got to
separate list.
watch. But
Yeah,
the
that's a great
John
movie.
Williams music by John Williams was incredible. I've seen it twice. It's yeah, it's with anybody like if you've ever liked music that he's ever done in a movie, like you owe it to yourself to watch it just to know more of his mindset and like the thought process and the story of how those iconic film scores got made. That's all I got to say about that.
And then before we start listing off some movies, just kind of know we're planning on getting some other episodes out of movies that we missed last year. So kind of like Sonic 3, Gladiator,
Wicked.
Wicked, all those big ones that we missed at the end of the year. We'll try to release an episode on that.
So those are three already that we talked about as well that were
Yeah.
pretty good. So I will say Gladiator 2 for me was like sorta let downish.
Yes.
I will say that
can agree.
that's it was like were we not entertained? No, we were entertained, but was it like good? Not really. Not great, but it was good, I guess. It's probably a crime in of itself, but yeah.
Yeah.
Wicked,
It's
incredible.
very difficult to go against
Yeah,
the first movie. It's just
absolutely
Yeah.
difficult. Yeah.
very tough hill to climb.
Yep. Like if we did like a Glicked thing, then it would based off the naming, you'd see Gladiator 2 first and then Wicked. So you'd probably end on
Wickiator.
the high note, literal high note because Defying Gravity ends the movie. And yeah, that's great. Like in terms of a musical. It's fun thing about Wicked before we mention some others is Anthony and I have a sort of a strange and long understanding and familiarity with John Chu's work.
Yep.
With his first ever movie, but was supposed to go straight to DVD.
Was it
But
his first
instead,
movie?
that's his first movie he ever directed. And instead of going to DVD, it went to the streets. Step up to the streets.
Step up to the streets.
Oh man,
Hey, that movie's awesome. Okay,
that movie's actually really good.
That last dance sequence is amazing.
But Anthony, why does that guy's house smells like Funyuns, broccoli, and ball sweat?
That's a real line from this movie. Okay, that's a real line from that movie.
Like because it's wild. Like because of that, I think Anthony and I have seen like all of the Step Up movies. Like we have completed the Step Up saga.
I never watched the Step Up TV show that came out on some random streaming.
No, that doesn't exist. Get out of here. No, no, it's just the movies. We talk about movies. Go away. But yeah. And then from there, like Wicked right now. For me, like
How many of the Step Ups did he do? I think he did the rest of them after two, didn't he?
No.
Are you sure? He definitely did 3D, Step Up 3D.
No, Scott Spears did Step Up Revolution, the one that was in Miami.
Okay.
And then there was a Step Up All In. I think that was.
I think that's the one that was like the Avengers, where they brought all the people back from all the different Step Up.
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, Step Up All In. That was in Vegas, I think. Yeah. And that was someone else. But yeah, I think he did the first three. I think you might be right.
And then he did In the Heights, which is great.
3D.
He also did Crazy Rich Asians, also
Which
a
is
good movie.
not a musical, but still extremely well made. Yeah. So that's yeah. We can go more into Wicked in another episode, but I have a couple movies. I think like one that I got to see in theaters that was I think it came out at the end of towards the end of the year.
Mhm.
Let me fact check myself here. But it was one that I remember seeing the like the trailers for. I'm like, oh, cool. This looks like a interesting kind of like political thriller esque type of film, and it's based off a book. But it stars Ray Fiennes and Stanley Tucci. It's called
Ooh.
Conclave.
I want to see that. It's back in theaters.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really well put together. Like it. I will say is that the movie like kind of the way it's paced makes you think, oh, this is the part where it's going to get boring. But there's just enough powerful dialogue and strong acting to keep you captivated. Ray Fiennes, like through all the different sections of each of the votes in the conclave, like he carries all of the like transitions extremely well, from like his physical acting to his dialogue. Like he's a big standout in this one for sure. See. And then we talked about documentaries, but I don't know if anybody else got to see the Christopher Reeve documentary.
I did
No,
not.
I haven't seen it yet, but
Wait,
it's
you,
on Max, right?
it's on Max. You guys haven't seen it yet?
No.
No, not yet. I want to.
Oh man, it's really good. Like it is, yeah. It was, yeah. That would have been like really tough for me to watch in theaters, but it is. It's really good to see like a lot of the other behind the scenes stuff, like post accident and what he was doing through that, and like basically like the his acting story and everything beforehand. Really, it's awesome. Yeah, like give your time to do it. You can watch it.
Another one that was pretty good this year that I think Anthony also saw with me, um, in terms of animation, would be The Wild Robot.
Yes, that's on my
Mm,
to-do list to watch. That was
yes,
supposed to
very
be.
Yeah,
good.
mine too. That one I gotta check off
That's
my list.
it might,
And I think they're re-releasing it now
right,
too.
because of the Oscars, they might be releasing a lot
Yeah.
of movies.
Yeah,
But
this is
yes,
like
very good,
weirdly
very
enough
good
one of
movie.
my favorite times when movies come out because like oh good, I get to rewatch the ones I missed.
Get to catch up.
Yeah, like I get to like yeah, exactly. I'm gonna
Because
catch up.
some of those movies are only out for like a week or two, and if you don't catch it, then that's it. It's over.
It's it's all
Mm,
over.
Another one that was pretty fun, just looking through. I don't think we ever talked about it because we didn't do an episode on it, but I actually enjoyed it. Was Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Hmm.
That's right. Yeah, which should have been Bad Boys for Life. Yeah, dude, Bad Boys for Life was great. Anthony and I
Did
we
we
called
not
out.
do an episode on that?
No, we
No,
didn't.
we
Oh, I
didn't.
thought we
I was
did.
surprised. Yeah, I thought so too,
Okay.
but I guess we didn't.
Surprise. We didn't talk about the guy getting double died by the alligator and then the grenade.
Yeah.
Like that
There
was
was
We
a
had
few of
insane.
some.
them. I think there was 2 or 3
There's
double
like a
deaths.
couple of double
Yeah.
deaths. Like
There was some
He
cool moments like
he went on a ride
camera.
and died.
I mean, and what's interesting, I think that movie also. Okay, so when we talked about, there are a couple of movies in the past we've talked about. Very that's quick sidetrack. But bear with me here. Um, we had The Gray Man and we had Ambulance. What do they have in common?
Michael Bay. Oh wait,
No,
no. Michael Bay didn't do the Great Man.
no.
Oh, the drone camera shots.
Good job. Yes, drone camera shots. So, Ride or Die had actually some really cool, like drone esque shots, like through some of the big action sequences. I thought that was pretty,
Yeah, they were well done. They
really well
lasted
done.
longer than milliseconds,
They
like
weren't. It
ambulance.
wasn't amber lamps. Like I'm gonna go up and down this building for no reason. Ah, never mind.
Yeah, they were
Okay.
well done. They were well done.
Yeah, really cool. So yeah, I guess we owe it to
Recommend
ourselves
it.
to do an episode. That movie was
Go
fun. Yeah,
watch Bad
definitely recommend
Boys.
it. If you love Miami, you gotta watch Bad Boys for Life. Because
Uh,
Bam Adebayo is in the movie. It's great.
Is he?
Yeah, he's the guy in the car. He had a scene I think with something and some dude with a car like in an intersection.
I don't know. I don't know if he's in it.
Wasn't
I have to rewatch it now.
Yeah.
wasn't this guy in it? DJ Khaled.
Yes.
Yes, he was.
It's because he was in
Yeah.
the third one too.
Yeah. Another good one. Just seeing now.
Another one.
Another one.
That was
And
by
another
accident,
one. We have The Beekeeper.
Oh,
That was the
last
beginning.
year.
That was
Yeah,
January
that
of
was like
2024.
right in the beginning.
Oh man, Beekeeper was great, man.
That's a
It
movie.
was fun.
I referenced that
I'm kinda
movie for
sad I didn't see
family.
it in theaters.
Dude, because of that movie, I always warn family members like, hey, don't get caught in these phishing and fraud scams because I'm not Jason Statham. I can't avenge you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie was cool. I think it's on Prime or it's on one of these streaming services.
Oh
But yeah,
snap!
that's a
Okay,
good one.
I got two other ones, but I don't know if anyone else wants to go first.
Nah, you go. I've said enough. You should go.
All right, we got. I don't know if you guys saw Monkey Man.
Oh yeah,
But that
Yes, I did watch Monkey
dude,
Man.
that was last year too. Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
really cool.
2024.
That was really good.
Wow.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool, man. Dev Patel's directorial debut.
That was a fun one.
Very cool.
And then I think Xavier saw this one, but we have that Roadhouse remake.
That was that
Was that really last year?
2024. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
No way.
Freaking
I feel like that was.
Conor McGregor
feel
as
like
a
all of
walking
these were-
cartoon character.
Oh my god.
Dude, this guy.
Dude, Conor McGregor's character is straight up a straight up cartoon character. Like he's straight out of a Tex Avery cartoon. It's insane.
But it's so good in this movie.
But it just works somehow, yeah.
Hello, baby. Like, what was he? What was he saying?
Dude, I don't even
And the way
know.
he would walk,
Yeah.
the way he would walk was so ridiculous.
Where the F is everybody? Dude, that scene is hilarious.
But that's him in person, though.
Yeah. That's probably just him in person.
And then,
Prime, which
That
by the
movie,
way,
it was all right.
yeah, that's all right.
it was fun to watch streaming
Yeah.
at home.
You
know?
gotta watch the original, man. We gotta watch the original. Like that's too good.
Swayze, man.
And then I guess the last one I'll mention, we have. It came out at the end of the year. It was actually a pretty fun watch. You had Carry On.
I still
I
haven't
saw
seen it.
that. It was fun. It was
Yeah.
way more thrilling than I thought. Like I thought it was gonna be like a Die Hard action esque. Like no, this is like a straight up like thriller. Like this is like a action, more like a thriller with some action in it. Like that was it was good. I thought it was. I dare say I had fun watching it. Like hey, it's a cool pseudo Christmas movie. Like
You recommend it?
I do. It's
All right.
it's good fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's scary.
watch it.
It's tense, but then like it's still good. Like, Jason Bateman stand out for sure.
All right, I
Any-
got one.
Anyone got any other ones?
I got
Yeah,
like
Anthony.
maybe three. This one I think a lot of you watched it. I don't know, but it came out in theaters too, but then it quickly went over to streaming. Wolves, the George Clooney and Brad Pitt movie.
I saw that. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was fun. It was better than I thought it would be. I thought it was gonna be like it's like a George Clooney, Brad Pitt phone it in kind of thing, but
Yeah, it was fun.
it was fun. They kept their oceans chemistry going, and like it was fun learning more about the characters. Was it John Watts who directed that?
Yeah, yes, I think so.
Nice.
This one's gonna blow your mind. I don't know. I wouldn't put it in like my top, but it was a movie I had fun in, and it's hard to believe that it was last year, or maybe I'm wrong. When did Godzilla X Kong come out?
Last year.
Was that last
actually
year?
yes, it was
Was
last
that
year.
this last year, like 2024?
No,
Yeah,
2024. It was
Yeah.
in March
Wow.
or something.
All right then. So yeah, that was another one. It was fun.
Didn't someone get suplexed? And I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Godzilla's. I think
Godzilla suplex Kong, right?
Yeah.
And
That's
I was
the
like,
best.
hey, this
That's
movie's
why I watched
automatic.
that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this movie's automatically great. Like Godzilla movies, like kaiju movies, have two types. It's let's ask really deep questions about suffering and the pain of existence and those type of existential questions, and then giant robots doing giant monsters in a massive pro wrestling match. That's two extremes that you always get. And that movie was a lot of fun. King Kong,
Yeah.
like Kong, like when the little kid tried to attack him, he just like smacked him. Dude, just like there's just yeah, that movie's a lot of fun. Go
Okay.
that movie. That movie's great.
Another movie that I would put on my top list, maybe like top 10, would be Saturday Night. And I don't know if you
I
guys
have
watched
not seen it yet. That's on my to-do list to watch.
it. It was very good. Very well done. Very fast paced, very tense. It was the movie about Saturday Night Live, the very first show. It's like
50th anniversary now, guys. It's on its
right, yeah,
50th
it's
year.
crazy. It's the 90 minutes, I believe, 90 minutes before the airing of the first episode. And like all the craziness and nonsense that they had to go through to like get it up and running.
Yeah, directed by Jason Reitman.
Yeah, it was great. Acting was great. A lot of the actors were spot on in their portrayals.
How was Corey Michael Smith as Chevy Chase?
Awesome.
Oh man,
That
I
guy
need to
was in
see that.
Gotham, wasn't he in Gotham? I
Yes,
think
he
he was
was Riddler.
Riddler. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he was great. Um, but yeah, that one was really good. Definitely a must watch. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere, but if it is, go watch it.
You
And
can only rent it right
one
now.
one that I saw that I don't think any of you have seen was The Substance.
Also on my to-do list.
Yeah, I need to watch
I
that
need
one.
to see it.
I mean,
Demi Moore right now just won, I think, a Golden Globe for it.
yeah, well deserved. That would be cool. I really hope she wins the Oscar because she goes all out in this movie. She has to do so much. Um, a lot of physical acting, a lot of subtle acting, and
Her
a
and
lot
Margaret
of.
Qualley like got really close to each other because they basically
I
played the
mean,
same person. Like
yeah, that movie is insane. It's crazy because it's a very well-made movie. It's a well-told story, but then it goes like off the rails in a good way. It's really nasty. It's a body horror movie, so it is a nasty movie. Um, so I would recommend it to people that want to like that can handle that. It's definitely not a movie for everybody, but it's one of those movies that like you probably won't forget because it has like a very lasting impression. The last 30 or 40 minutes of this movie is they're bonkers. It's just like the movie kind of ends. It doesn't really end, but it gets to a point where once it reaches this point, then it's just like balls to the wall, and it gets nastier and nastier and crazier, and it's just like it just becomes too much. It becomes very excessive, but overall the movie it's really good, very well
maybe
done.
that's the point. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'll
well,
decide
no,
when I get there. Yeah,
it definitely is. It definitely
yeah.
is. The
I heard
acting,
Dennis Quaid is nuts too.
dude, the acting is great by everyone. Dennis
That's
Quaid,
awesome.
Margaret Qualley, and Demi Moore. They're the three main people, and they're awesome. So it's a very tough watch, because of the body horror. But very well made movie. Wouldn't be surprised if it won a few Oscars. Hopefully Demi Moore wins one
Yeah, here's
because
hoping. Yeah,
very deserved, very deserved. Like I know she won the Golden Globe, and if you watch her speech, you can watch on YouTube. She said this is the first award that she's ever won in anything, and
that's
she's been
true.
like acting for like 40 years or something like that.
Yeah, man.
So it would be really cool if it was one of those, kind of give it to her because of her body of work. But even though it's not like she didn't do a good performance either. Like she should get it because she earned it. Um, but who knows what the voters will vote. There's all the other ladies in that category. I'm sure will be just as good. So we'll see. But yeah, very good movie if you can stomach it. Is all I'm saying. I'm warning you.
There is substance in the
It's,
substance.
yes, I'm warning. It's very good. It's weird too because it's funny at times. It's like some dark humor in it. The music is great. The cinematography is great. And it's like a little sci-fi as well. So it's just like a mixture of different genres and very
Okay.
well done. So I recommend it to a degree. depending if you're willing to like suffer through the suffering that goes on in this movie.
Hey man, it's got to make you a little uncomfortable for it to
Not a
be
little,
in there.
not a
Not a
little.
little. All right, cool.
But yeah,
So anyone else, Zach or Danny? Do you have any other?
I've got a couple to mention.
Yeah, get them.
This one kind of just a quick fire one. Because I watched it later on, I think streaming. And it came out at the beginning of the year, and it was Kung Fu Panda 4.
ooh,
Oh, nice.
that's right.
I missed that one.
Yeah, I missed it. How was it?
I enjoyed it. I think it's probably the weaker of the 4 movies so far. I mean, I very much prefer the story or the stories in 1 through 3 more than this one. But this one's still a fun watch. It's as funny as always. You don't get the same or the returning cast, or most of the returning cast from the previous ones. Like I don't think like David Cross or Lucy Liu or Seth Rogen come back. I think it's only like Angelina Jolie for like a quick little like couple cameos. But because they kind of,
Jackie Chan's not in it.
I don't remember. Let me see the cast here, because
Yeah, I know a
feel
lot
like-
of them aren't in it.
because Dustin Hoffman, of course, is there.
Is Jack Black in it?
Seth Rogen's in it.
Oh no, sorry. Seth Rogen is. Seth
Yeah,
Rogen
Seth
is.
Rogen's in
but
it.
The
James
rest,
Hong's still in it. Bryan Cranston, Viola Davis.
Oh, nice.
but no.
Ke Huy
like
Quan.
none of the usuals.
That boy is on the up and up. Oh shit, Ronnie Chang is in this? Damn, Ronnie Chang is the bomb. Cedric Yarborough. Oh man, Cedric Yarborough's in this movie. Cedric Yarborough has one of my favorite lines in all of cinema. Just as a side note. It comes from the one and the only, which we got to watch together, Black Dynamite. Anthony
I know
knows
exactly what you're talking
you know
about.
what line it is. But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community. Yeah, that movie's incredible. We got to put that, write that down, Danny, that we have to watch Black Dynamite. Because
Alright,
you need to
Writing
know.
now.
Yeah,
noted.
watched that before I came in the room. Anyway,
And then the other one, A Quiet Place Day 1.
Still
ooh,
haven't seen it.
Ooh.
I think it's streaming.
it is indeed streaming. Yeah, I think it's Paramount streaming.
Mhm.
Is it Paramount
Because
streaming? Yeah, I think it is.
that was one that
Was it good?
yeah, it was really good for for it being just part of like the whole franchise, because when I watched it, I hadn't seen part 2, and literally that night after watching day 1, I went and watched part 2, and I understood then like the whole Jimon Honsu him being in the movie, and then how that led to then what had happened previously in part 2.
In part 2, yeah.
But a really solid entry in the franchise.
You
Like
had the cat.
to the cat the entire movie. The cat was like the MacGuffin of this whole movie.
Yeah.
But it does keep the same like suspenseful horror aspect of it. When you have like these intense moments where towards the beginning of the movie they have to hide in like this theater, and they're trying to go around and through like the basement area to turn on the power, and then there's an alien in there with them, and it gets someone. I mean, it just like it's so suspenseful in a lot of good parts. It's really worth a watch if you guys haven't seen it yet.
Nice. Yeah.
Because
Okay,
I
nice,
forgot who
yeah.
it was. Danny, was it you and I that went only, or
Yeah.
or
Yeah, it was you and me. We went.
Okay.
And I liked it too, because I think I told you to watch part 2 afterwards, and then you're like, oh, okay, yeah.
And then you did it, and you're like, oh, wait,
Yeah.
that's cool. I forgot about Jimon Hansu being in part 2. Now it's like, oh, I have to, like, that's a cool, like, piece of continuity.
Yeah, because I think we went with a couple of other friends, because I remember you, Danny, saying something to one of our other friends, and then when I was asking, what you were saying, because it was about the whole Jimon Hansu thing, you said, "Oh, he's in part 2. You gotta watch it."
Just watch it.
Yeah.
Dang, Danny, hit him with the spoilers. Okay.
It worked out. He got interested. He watched it.
Okay. There you go.
Any others?
It's it for me on my end.
Yeah, I guess I don't want to. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I did end up watching through streaming Red 1 because that went to streaming really fast.
That was the day after.
Yeah, it was okay. Like it wasn't bad, but it was interesting to see the whole like the kind of like whatever mythos, like holiday mythos they're trying to do. They brought in things like Krampus and like Rilla, like some of these other folklores. And I was like, hey, that's kind of cool. So it's not bad, but if they found ways to kind of like inject the Christmas spirit into Chris Evans's character and his whole backstory. So I was like, this was nice at least. It's weird that J.K. Simmons has been Santa twice now. Yeah, once in animation and now once in live action.
Nice.
Which, by the way, go watch Klaus. That should be part of your like holiday like rotation. That movie's very good.
Yeah, that's the new tradition.
Yeah, that should be part of there. It's really good. On top of Violent Night. But yeah. Violent Night and then, palate cleanser with Klaus. All right. Any others, gentlemen, before we close it up for 2024?
Yeah, I think we got the last one, and then we'll wrap it up. But the last one, which we all saw together, which we'll probably have a whole episode on, we have Sonic 3.
That was too good.
Yeah, buddy.
That was too good. Like, how is it that, like, the Dreamcasting or like the
pun intended.
Right? Dreamcasting. I just got that. Oh, damn. All right. Yeah, Anthony, thanks. The Dreamcasting of these movies have just been perfect. Like, still having Idris Elba as Knuckles and then having Keanu Reeves as Shadow, it just works, dude. Like, it just freaking works. And it's still written well. Like, both Sonic and Shadow are on like mirroring parallel character arcs. It's really good. And then there's really good fan service. And then once again, Jim Carrey going balls to the wall because they gave him permission to do whatever he wanted to, which is awesome.
Which, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and like it's always like, no, I don't want to do anymore. And then like they kind of like up the ante for him, and then but he doesn't phone it in. He's like actually like doing his wild stuff, and it's like, man, this is great, dude. Like, good. Like, this is just a lot of fun. So, thank you, Jim Carrey, for coming back. We'll talk more about it later, but yeah, movie's awesome
for sure.
Man, Paramount making that money. That for us, closes out 2024. If we've missed any of your favorites, or if there's something low key that you wanted to bring up, or, chime in on some of the favorites that we talked about, or share in the misery of the movies we did not like, please reach out to us through all of our social media kind of platforms. We're on Threads, Instagram. Obviously, episodes will be on audio through YouTube as well as your podcast platform of choice. So we look forward to continuing the conversation. Let's not completely close the door on 2024, but we cannot wait for all the new stuff coming out in 2025, which there will be so many. Until next time, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Keep your popcorn ready for next time.
Later.
See you.